Welcome back to the Insider Show on Josh India Web TV. Well, now we are with Jagdish Sewhani ji inside their beautiful home, and we will continue our discussion about the elections in world's biggest democracy, the biggest election which is happening right now from April 10th to May 21st. Jagdish ji just shared with us like how he has been to India in the first 3 phases and he is looking forward to go back again. He is confident that the current government is being re-elected again, and we're going to talk further about the agenda of the government, what they have done in the past, and what is his vision or what is his expectation from the current government when re-elected. So Jagdish ji, tell me something, which of the government's priorities you look at, which will be immediately implemented upon? The government has started many initiatives in their first 5 years.
Yes.
And now which programs you are looking forward, which you think have been accomplished? And some, there were of course some controversial, controversial from the media's point of view, some other points of demonetization, for example. Even though it was claimed it is a very successful program.
Yes.
But which program do you think is should be government's priority after re-election?
The top priority of this government again is the basic necessity for the majority of the population, that is roti, kapra aur makan. If you see in last 5 years, 80 million toilets were built. Compared to last 60 years when not even 5 millions were built. 70 million households were given a gas cylinder. Just imagine, 70 million. So they can comfortably cook without tears in their eyes for our system.
Or without burning the wood or...
Yes, environmental friendly.
Yes.
19,000 villages have electricity were provided. 19,000, more than 19,000 villages, which is a record. So most of the villages have electricity now. The cylinder and toilet. That is the basic. The second priority is for the farmers. The farmers should get a fair price for their crop. It's very important. India is still a majority agro-based economy.
Yeah, if we find it correctly, 50% probably
employment
in
yes, and it is very important that they are comfortable. Now, in last 5 years, what we have done, we have laid the foundation for new Bharat. India has been growing at the rate of 7.8% in last 5 years, which is the largest, biggest in the world. And the inflation is lowest we have ever seen. It is going to be a $5 trillion economy in next 5 years. And according to PricewaterhouseCoopers, India is going to be top 3 economies in the world in 2050 with a GDP of almost $38 trillion. For that to happen, we need lot of foreign direct investment in Bharat. And Modi ji has sprayed a red carpet for the people, industrials from here, not only from America, but from all over the world to come and invest in India. We are going to be perhaps the second biggest economy in the world, if not first.
For these days, you just mentioned foreign direct investment. Foreign investors look for some few things while investing in a country.
Right.
Friendly policies, where of course their capital can grow. We can already look at companies like Amazon and Walmart and other companies have already invested in India.
That's correct.
There are different sectors. There is infrastructure, there is then food, fast food, then car manufacturing. And then right now there are few big media companies that are also looking forward to expand. And then defense and technology.
Yes.
That brings me to one more subject about security and defense in India.
Yes.
Definitely India has come a long way in last 5 years from being considered a soft target of militant attacks.
Yes.
We have all seen India's response during the last government's tenure versus last 5 years. And most recently, the unfortunate attacks on in Pulwama, and when you also did a gathering here.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
would you like to? What is your take on that? Like how far India has come to defend itself?
That is what exactly I'm talking about, the difference between the past government and government of Modi or BJP. If you remember 26/11, what happened? Taj Hotel was attacked. Hundreds of people died. And the response of our government was mute. हम कुछ करेंगे, उनको पत्र लिखेंगे. What happened on 14th February when the terrorists attacked our Jawans in Kashmir and 40 Jawans were killed? Our response was swift. On 13th day, our Air Force went inside the Pakistan and neutralized all the terrorist holdings. So Pakistan has to understand now they are dealing with new India. अगर आप हम पे गोली चलाएंगे तो हम आपको गोला देंगे. अगर हम ईंट देंगे तो हम उसका जवाब पत्थर से देंगे. So this is a new decisive leadership of Bharat. And the Indian voter has to decide it. What are they looking for? A proud Indian leadership who can take decisive action for the security of Bharat.
But at the same time, there were back channel diplomacies as well. While India showed its tough side,
Yes.
what was appreciated, like there was some back channel communications as well.
Back channel communication is always important,
Yes.
and it should be there. See, we are peace-loving country.
Because
We have never attacked since our independence anybody if you see our history. But now our neighbors have to understand that
The
they
timing
should not
has
think
changed,
about
yes.
attacking. If they do anything adventurous, they will give a befitting reply.
And do you think, like in current setting, India is now prepared to take its leadership position in South Asia among all those smaller countries, and of course show its way of progress and peace, that there is progress possible through peace instead of the neighboring country, which has been, even when as a journalist, when I look into the side as well, people there are also fed up of violence. But of course, it cannot be stopped with words alone.
Yes.
India has to invest in new defense technologies and up its defense spending
Right.
and defend itself instead of like every time an attack happens, we don't have to blame it on somebody else. But at the same time, no neighboring country should even dare to think. Do you think the current government and the government when it's voted to, I will say as if it's voted to power, you are saying it will be voted to power.
The question doesn't
Yes.
arrive a bit.
I have to stay objective.
No, but I know the ground realities. We are going to form the government. Narendra Bhai Modi is going to be again the Prime Minister of India for not only next 5 years, but next years and years. Bar Modi Sarkar, like we are saying. You are talking about leadership position in South Asia. I will go a little further. Now, with the new vision of Narendra Bhai, India is one of the top leader in the world, not only Southeast Asia, which we are talking.
Sure.
And rightfully so. We are the second most populous country,
Of course.
the largest democracy in the world. So we deserve a rightful position in the world. And we should also get a seat in United Nations Security Council.
Yeah, that's long overdue.
It's overdue.
Long overdue.
And of course, thanks to Trump, President Trump, he's supporting us in that.
What is your take on India and United States friendship? It has blossomed a lot during the current government as
Yes.
compared to the few last governments. Under Trump and under Modi government, the friendship between India and the cooperation in many sectors, also investment in India from US-based companies, it has blossomed. What do you think in the current next 5 years, where will it go? And what sectors do you think the spendings and the more cooperation happening in India?
US and India are natural allies now. Now we want to have a strategic relationship between both the democracies. the largest democracy and the oldest democracy. And that is happening under the leadership of Modi, and I must thank here President Trump. When he came to power, the first thing he did is stop giving aid to Pakistan. Because USA was giving a lot of money to Pakistan, billions of dollars. Till date they have given perhaps around 38 or 39 billion dollars, and in return they haven't got anything. And Trump was smart enough to realize that, and he stopped that. Second thing is a trade balance, trade between US and India. I think we have a potential to have a bilateral trade of at least $500 billion between US and India, and which will happen in next 5 to 10 years with Modi as a Prime Minister and Trump as President.
How successful you will call Make in India movement? Like, it was a very big signature movement of the government.
Yes.
And it was started with much fanfare. Where do you think it is today, and in next 5 years, where will it go in many sectors, automotive, defense, and heavy machinery, and so on? What do you think has happened and will happen?
See, I'm glad that you raised this question. Under Make in India, lot of industry, previously what used to happen, we just used to import the goods totally and not manufacture. Now under Make in India, most of the things, the joint ventures, they make in India. Whether it is defense, whether it is agriculture, whether it is electric cars. We not only get the parts, but we get the technology so that we can manufacture, and the advantage is the youth of India gets employment, they get a job. We have, I'm sure you are aware that India produces second largest number of engineers in the world. So with Make in India, we can use them, and that is what this present government has been doing it for last 5 years. Not to just come here and assemble it, but Make in India. And it has been very, very successful, and you will see even the more results in coming 5 years.
Now I'm going to touch upon a very different topic.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in next 5 years? I know you are very proud to be a Karyakarta, but it's also like US relations with India. You have played a very good role in like taking the relations further, organizing events here, reaching out to the congressmen when some untoward incidents happened in India.
Yes.
When attacks, you urged local congressmen, senators, and where do you see yourself, and what kind of movement, next movement, and of course you are going next week to India.
Right.
Yeah, to be on the ground level.
Yes.
So where do you see yourself, and how you have already brought this movement further? Where else you want to take it, or do you think like you have achieved enough?
Well,
there is always something to be achieved.
No, we have been, I am a Karyakarta and I will remain as a Karyakarta, and whatever the Adesh party gives me, I will strictly follow that. But I must say, you raise a good point that the local congressmen and senators, and not only local but all the congressmen and senators have been very helpful.
Yes.
Whenever we have approached them under our organization, the American India Public Affairs Committee. They have been very helpful to India, and they have promised that they are for India and they will do whatever is needed to be done. And as far as my plan, I would say I grew up in India and became an engineer, and I came here and I've given half of my life here. Perhaps I'm thinking of, now that I have achieved so much, the time has come to give back to my Bharat Mata. So whatever Adesh Narendra Bhai, our Prime Minister, gives me, I'm there. I will do whatever, wherever I'm needed.
If the Adesh is a little big, so would you consider moving, shifting to India and serving the country from there? Or would you like to stay here and keep on serving?
No, whenever the...
And I mean if the Adesh is big.
No, whether Adesh is big or small, whatever, wherever the Prime Minister or country wants, that comes first for me. Bharat comes first for me. So if for that purpose, if I need it to go back to Bharat, I'll be more than happy to do that. No two views about it. Absolutely, yes. I'm here for Bharat, whether I'm in USA or India. But if Adesh comes, I will just follow it blindly.
There is one more topic I want to touch because I couldn't believe it. There was I just thought like recently there was elections in Maharashtra.
Right.
But I just got to know like in the next 6 months Maharashtra is again going to go for elections.
Yes.
And there is a young chief minister there, Mr.
Devendra Fadnavis ji.
So what do you think like in next 6 months after this government, as you said, is re-elected? So what will be the scenario in Maharashtra and what kind of activities you would like to do to get Mr. Fadnavis re-elected?
Well, I'll be definitely in Maharashtra for campaigning, and I will devote my another 6 to 8 weeks or whatever time they want from me. And the people of Maharashtra have seen what he has achieved in last 4.5 years. And he is going to get thumping majority again.
Okay.
Because there is a ceases. What a change he has done in 5 years. I mean, this young and dynamic guy from Nagpur, Devendra ji.
That youth energy is very much important. So it's amazing, and
I am also inviting you to come to Bharat and invite this.
Of course, me and
not only the Chief Minister of Maharashtra but other leaders.
We would love to see it on the ground. Me and my crew. We would love to.
I would like you to join along with your crew.
It's been amazing and so insightful to sit with a person like Mr. Sehewani. And we will again come on this show. I'll invite him again after the elections are done to analyze and to see what points, how much enthusiasm he has, and what kind of groundwork, so much groundwork he has done, and how many of his predictions came true. Jagdish ji, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sharanjit ji, for having me.
Thank you.
But I must say that not only I have done, the voter of India is very smart.
Of course.
He is smart. He has to decide whether he wants Majboor Sarkar or Majboot Sarkar under the leadership of Modi. And I'm sure they will take the right decision.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on our show.